Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be discussing about ratio. We're talking about ratio. As you can see on the screen, the ratio of one quantity to another is the number of times one quantity is contained in another quantity of the same kind. A ratio can be represented in this form: A ratio B ratio C. This sign that you see in between A and B, B and C, is used in the representation of ratio. So you can represent ratio in this form: A ratio B ratio C. It is that simple. So the moment, anytime you see a symbol of this nature, it means it is ratio. And if you have ratio of two forms, say A ratio B, it is still the same thing as saying A over B. That is the meaning. If you have ratio B and C, it is still the same thing as B over C. So as we journey through this video, you will understand better. We have some questions here. Let's dive straight into solving these questions and we'll see how we understand what ratio is. We have three questions here. Question number 1. A gear wheel having 75 teeth is a mesh with 25 tooth gear. What is the gear ratio? Very simple. A gear wheel having 75 teeth is a mesh with a 25 tooth gear. What is the gear ratio? Now, the gear ratio will simply be the teeth of the gear wheel, which is 75, and the tooth gear, which is 25, meshing together, because they actually mesh together. Let's see what we can do. Solution 1. Since the gear wheel having 75 teeth mesh with 25 tooth gear, since they mesh together, the gear ratio will now be, let's see, please. Awesome. So the gear ratio will now be 75 to ratio 25. Beautiful. And like I explained earlier, and when you see ratio of this nature, 75 ratio 25, it's still the same thing as saying 75 divided by 25. You are still saying the same thing. So to make our job easier, you can simply say we have (75) ratio 25. Beautiful. So with this, our job is made easier. So if you say you have (25) can cut here, that's 1. 25 will go in 75, that's 3 times. So up here you have 3, and down here you have 1. That means our job is spelled out. So the gear ratio, therefore, the GL ratio as requested by the question, the GL ratio will now be 3 to 1. Awesome. So that's the GL ratio 3 to 1. This looks simple, right? Okay, let's get a little bit tough question. Solution number 2. A piece of timber 273 centimeters long is cut into 3 pieces in the ratio of 3 to 7 to 11. Determine the length of each pieces. A piece of timber of this length is cut into 3 pieces of ratio 3 to 7 to 11. We have to determine the ratio of each length. We should determine the length of the 3 pieces. Okay, let's see what we can do. Beautiful. So now the length of the timber what is the length of the timber? The length of the timber is 273 centimeters. Beautiful. Now we ask, the question is telling us that the timber is cut into 3 pieces of ratio 3 to 7 to 11, 3, 7, 11. By implication, the ratios are 3, 7, and 11. So if you add 3 plus 7 plus 11, it's going to give us what? 21. Because 3 plus 7 is 10, 10 plus 11 will give us 21. Beautiful. So let's take them one after the other. Let's take for ratio 3 first. For ratio 3, which is the smallest one, what we are going to do is to take the 3, divide it by the total, then we multiply it by the length of the timber. Let's get a template. Beautiful. So for ratio 3 now, the total addition of the ratios is 21. Beautiful. Then we multiply it by what? The total length of the timber, which is 273. Beautiful. So with this, you can now say bring out your calculator and punch 3 times 273, it will give you 819. So by implication, it means you have 819 divided by 21. So if you divide it correctly, you have 39. The unit is in centimeter. That's the length of the timber. So that's for ratio 3. So let's do for ratio 7, which is the second one. Let's get this as a template. Second ratio, the ratio 7. Beautiful. So we just say 7 divided by 21 multiplied by 273. So if we multiply 7 times 273, we have 1911. 1911. 1911. If you divide it by 21, we'll be left with what? 91 centimeter. Awesome. So we'll do for the last ratio, which is ratio 11. Beautiful. So for ratio 11, which is the last one, all you just need to do is to say 11 divided by 21 multiplied by 273. So you say 11 times 273, you have 3003 divided by 21. So if you bring out your calculator and punch 3003 divided by 21, you have 143 centimeter. Beautiful. So you need a check. You need to check if your answer is correct. So all you need to do is to add your 3 results. 39 centimeter plus 91 plus 91 centimeter, then plus 143 centimeter. Beautiful. So if you add the 3, you must get 273 centimeter. That's the length of the timber. If you did not get this, that means your answer is not correct. So let's dive straight into the last question, question number 3, and we'll say solution 3. So we'll say solution 3. Beautiful. What's the question? Let's get the question. Oh, this is the question. Divide 621 centimeter in the ratio of 6 to 7 to 13. Almost the same form with this second question, but let's see. 621 into ratio 3, 7, and 13. Okay, let's make use of this as a template anyway. That will help us. But the ratio this time around is 3, 7, and 13. Let's make use of this as a template. Not the timber this time around. Let's just say the length. 621 centimeter, 621. That's the length this time around. But the ratio this time around is 3, 7, and 13. 3, 7, and 13. So you're adding 3 plus 7 plus 13 this time around. And that will give you 23. Beautiful. So we start with ratio 3. Let's make use of this as a template. So for ratio 3 now, we'll say 3 over the total here now is 23. 3 over 23 multiplied by 621. 621. Beautiful. So if you bring out your calculator and punch 3 times 621, you have 1863. 1863. 1863 divided by 23 this time around. Beautiful. So if you punch your calculator, 1863 divided by 23, you have 81 centimeter. Awesome. That's for ratio 3. So let's go for ratio 7, which is the second one. So for ratio 7 now, so it's going to be 7 divided by 23 times 621. So if you multiply 7 times 621, you have 4,347. 4347. You have 4347 divided by 23. So if you punch your calculator, 4347 divided by 23, you have 189. You have what? 189 centimeter. That's for ratio 7. And the last one, which is ratio 13. For ratio 13, let's do for the last one, which is ratio 13. So we now say 13 divided by 23 times 621. So if you punch your calculator, 13 times 621, you have 8073. 8073. 8073. If you punch 8073 divided by 23, you have 351. 351. So you need a check as well. You need a check. So you need to add the 3. 81189, 81189 and 351. 81 centimeter plus 189 centimeter plus 351 centimeter. If you add them, your total answer should give you 621 centimeter, because that is actually the length that you are asked to do what? To divide. If you did not get 621, that means your answer is wrong. Awesome. So we've been able to iron out how we manipulate our way around ratio. You can always pause, rewind this video for better clarification and understanding. Kindly drop a comment with us in the comment section if you have any issue with any of our video or this one. Help us like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, My Simple Maths, and don't forget to press the notification bell on it so that you can always get a notification from us whenever we post a new video. Thank you.